Welcome to a brand new episode of the Post Game. I'm your host Davion, and I'm joined by my boy Omega.
What's going on, y'all?
And today we are back talking about some Myers Park basketball. How first off, how you doing today, Omega?
I'm all right, man. You know what I'm saying? Panthers lost again today.
To
So
who exactly?
the Carolina Panthers, we lost
Who
again
they
today.
lose to? Who they lose
I
to?
lost to them Saints, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. I didn't want to win, but it is what it is.
Yeah, man.
It, anywho, I'm glad you're doing good and losing more. Yeah. So we're back talking about Myers Park basketball, man. This week, Myers Park jumped from the 15th team in the country. There's ranking systems all wrong because there's like
Yeah.
15 different sites, bro. But I'm just gonna go off what I saw. So Myers Park jumped from 15 to 8th in the country, and Myers Park went up into to Washington D.C. this weekend, man, and went and played against the number 2 ranked team in the country, Paul the Sixth, I think it was. So
Yep.
when looking at this game, before we even talk about what happened, how did you feel about Myers Park coming into it?
Hey, I seen they knocked out John Marshall because John Marshall played like the game before them. So
Hmm.
I seen they knocked out John Marshall. So I wasn't. Hey, I thought we was gonna keep it rolling going into the game. Hey,
Yeah,
whatever.
like going into this game, I was like, man, listen, this team might be number two team ranked in the country, but Myers Park got something that a lot of teams don't have. That's that heart, that's that family mentality, that's that defensive hunger, that's that next man up. And we need everyone to score. We need everybody to play defense, and we need everybody to work as a team. And when looking at it, man, it was just a hard fought game. Before we even tell you the score, I don't even have the score written down. So we're just gonna walk through what happened. So this is the first time, I think, in my opinion, is this the first time that Myers Park played on the shot clock? I
Yeah,
think this is the first time they ever
to
played on the
my
shot
knowledge,
clock.
yeah, I think it was their
And we
first
saw,
time.
and we saw a couple of times where it looked like it, like they were. I think they had one or two shot clock violations, and they just had to rush a couple shots because of the
Yeah,
shot clock. Like you definitely saw that it played a factor into their game a little bit, but nevertheless. So jumping into this game, at the end of the first quarter, Myers Park was looking good. They were containing this team. They were playing some really, really good defense, and they all
yeah,
rose to the occasion and they rose to the moment. And that's what something that I found so impressive by watching this
yes,
game.
sir.
So in the whole first half, Myers Park played great defensively, offensively, and they took care of business. So what did you see in the first half that
Uh,
gave you hope, or what did you see? Period.
Sadiq White, he had I believe he had 8 points in the first quarter, and
Yeah.
he had a battle down there. They had a couple people his size down there, so he was really battling down there.
Absolutely. For me, like I definitely saw that it took him a little bit of time to get used to that contact,
Oh,
to that those bodies just coming like over and over again. And looking at it, it's like, once he did get adjusted to it, and once they started scheming the system in like different ways, man, it just became an absolute domination. Like I
oh,
think Myers Park went into halftime. It was what? It was probably 32 to. They were up by like six, I think it was at least.
I think so. Yeah,
Um, but they went to halftime after playing a fantastic game, and when you look at the team, there's a couple different things that was a cause of that. They were defensively strong. They were getting points from their um, from their stars,
yep.
um, and they were just playing good facilitated basketball. There was one name though that kept coming up on the other team, and there was one name that impressed me the most out of this whole game, and that was
Boy,
Aaron
balling,
Harris,
man.
man, from Duke, or he's going to Duke, bro. Watching him play, it was effortless. He could shoot it whenever, wherever he wanted to, and it was just great watching him. So I mean, I would say first off, like all respect to that Paul the Six team. They didn't give up. They showed resilience, and they showed that like we're gonna go back to doing what we do. I think the commentator said that their last game they played, they won 101 to like 40 something, and it's like Marshall came in here and shut y'all down in the first half, and they
Really,
should have
really.
continued. And so if you look at it, like just trying to jump into the third quarter real quick, at the end of the third quarter anyway. For me, like, what did you see going into the fourth quarter? Because I know for me, I was a little stressed out already.
Yeah, it was too much up and down. Like it was. Hey, had my nerves. Like I was. I don't know. I don't know what it was, man. It was just up and down. Like they'll go down by 5, and then they'll come back, tie the game. They couldn't get over the hump, basically. Really.
100%, 100%. And for me, I think we saw that Paul the Sixth turned it on.
Yeah.
They started putting the ball in Harris' hand. They started making that game go through him. They pretty much made Myers Park make mistakes.
Yeah.
Um, uh,
And
Bishop
they.
Boswell
So I go ahead.
Bishop sat down for a while, like in the third, because he got into foul trouble.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that a little in a bit. But man, like just this game, just it looked like it started to turn over. Like you said, they shook him. They had him shook. I mean, they couldn't. They were on a press that just couldn't be beat, and it just didn't make much sense, man. But looking at going into the fourth quarter, it was 48 to 46. Myers, or I think Paul were up. Um, who was Mr. Fourth Quarter for Myers Park?
Your boy, Sir Muhammad. My boy, I would say.
Yeah, that's more
I
like it.
like I like the kid, man. He can ball.
And so here's the thing. I never thought he couldn't ball. I don't think I ever saw that click. But
Yeah.
man, last night he showed why he's going to Notre Dame. I think
Oh
he
yeah.
went. I got it right here. I think he went 30 points, 9 rebounds,
Rebound. Yep.
3 assists, shot 50% from the field. Sadiq finished with 24, 7, 12 or 21 from the free field goal range. Like, hey, I mean, these are two great performances. So, Bishop Boswell fouled out in the fourth quarter. He finished with 6 points.
Yeah.
And, this game went to overtime. Um, in overtime, Myers Park just couldn't find it. They ended up going down. I think it was 70 to 62, with like 2.5 minutes left, and it felt like it was over. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, Myers Park made some stops towards the end, and they closed the gap a little bit, but it was ultimately too late and cost them the win.
Yeah.
Do you think Myers Park could have won this game?
Oh, for sure. For sure. And Bishop is just hey, I'm keeping it real. It wasn't really his game. They had a good defensive scheme for him for real.
Absolutely.
Off the pick and roll, they'll double, they'll rush him with two, double him, make him have to make a pass over those long defenders that they were sending at him.
Yeah.
And hey, it was just a tough game for him, bro.
And I think this is the second game this season that we've seen Bishop sort of. I don't want to. I don't want to sound harsh, but he just didn't rise to the occasion. I mean, for him to have 6 points and foul out in a game against the number two team in the country, like you have to demand better for yourself, at least. Not even for me. Don't do anything for me, but for yourself as a player, you would want to get that game back, man. You would want to be able to just get that game back and play better. I
Yeah,
feel like, listen, the scheme that they're running probably isn't a complete, give him the ball every time and let him go score type thing. It's
yeah,
not going to be that. It will never be that. We understand that, but I think when you are who you are personally, and when you want to be that guy at the next level in college or in the NBA, when you have those dreams or aspirations, you have to rise to the occasion. Plain and simple.
yeah,
And I expect him to shake this off and play a lot better, but just wasn't his game. A couple of just terrible turnovers, um, and you just saw that he just didn't feel himself. He just didn't look like himself. I mean, I've been watching this kid since he was in eighth grade, and I've seen a lot of ups and downs from him, and this just wasn't one of the ones that he would like. And honestly, to me, it felt like the same game against Combine. Like it with him anyway. He just did it. He couldn't get a rhythm. He never looked like he had a rhythm. Um, but man, like so coming up next, they have Palisade on Tuesday night. By the time this video is out, it'll be Tuesday morning. So this video, we'll talk about Palisade the following week. But what are you expecting against Palisade?
a good old fashioned butt kicking.
It'll be at home,
Oh yeah,
um,
in the
at
stable,
Myers
man.
Park, in the stable. We'll be in attendance. It'll be a good game to watch, man. But Um, where do you think Myers Park go from here? Losing to the number two team in the country, after you were up going into halftime, after you were up going into the fourth quarter, where do you go from here?
I'm not really sure they schedule, but I don't really think they're losing to a team in Charlotte. That's just
Mm,
I don't think they're losing to another team in Charlotte.
yeah.
So that's just me, but I'm not sure who they play next. You know what I'm saying? Well, I know who they play next, but their schedule from after I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I had it pulled up earlier. Let me look at it. So
Hey,
they got Myers Park has, um, they have Palisade,
Dub.
Mountain Brook, who I don't know who they is, Norcross,
Oh, they
and then
play
I think they're,
Norcross?
yeah, I don't know who that is. Who is this team?
I'm not. I don't really know too much about them. They just
They're a good team.
think they all right. Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. And then I think they're in the John Wall Invitational over the week after Christmas.
Oh,
I'm
they
pretty
are.
sure they are. I'm pretty sure they are. And then start the new year, they got a whole bunch of Charlotte teams. They got Huff, AK, Olympic, um, South Mecca at one point, Northridge. They got a bunch of teams, a bunch of good games back in coming back in January. But man, I don't know. This one sucked because like as we were watching it together, they could have won this
Yeah.
game. They should have won this game. This is one of those games that you want to have back. You have to
Yeah.
have back because you want to be nationally known. You want to be nationally ranked. You have to win this basketball game. And I don't lose faith. I'm not losing faith in this team. This is still, in my opinion, one of the best defensive team in the country.
Oh
Plain and
yeah.
simple. Plain and simple. Holding a number two team in the country to under 50 points without overtime. I'm all for it. We still
Hey.
got that thing on us. Plain and simple.
Yes,
So I mean,
sir.
we'll still look at it. Do Here's a question, and this is far off. Do you think they can win another state championship with this team?
For sure.
Yeah,
I don't see why not.
I don't either. What other team beating us in the state?
Hey.
None. None. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Any final thoughts you got on Myers Park basketball?
Uh, let's come on, man. Let's jump back to it, man. Let's get these dubs. Let's get these dubs rolling, man.
Absolutely. Bishop, I want 30.
Yes,
I
sir.
want 30. That's what we want. Show us
Hey,
why.
you know
Show
what I'm
us why.
saying?
This is no criticism. Just show us why. Plain and simple. Well, anyway, I've been your host, Davion. This has been my guy, Omega. Appreciate y'all for watching, like, subscribe, do all the fun things that we enjoy. But peace.